All right, let's pull back the curtain on the hidden world behind, well, everything you own. It's this complex, fascinating system. And today, we're cracking open the manager's playbook that makes it all happen. No, I mean, really think about it. That thing in your hand, it's the end result of this massive, perfectly timed effort. It didn't just pop into existence, right? There's a whole complex process that turns a pile of raw materials into a finished product.
And that complex dance, that's exactly what we're here to talk about. We're going to walk through the playbook managers use to get things made efficiently, on schedule, and with fantastic quality. This is literally the strategy behind how our world is built.
Okay, so first things first. Every great operation starts with a solid foundation. And in the world of production, that means making a few absolutely massive decisions right at the start. Decisions that pretty much affect everything down the line.
So, what is this operations management thing anyway? Well, at its heart, it's really all about one single word: efficiency. It's about taking all your resources, your people, your materials, your tech, and making them work together in the smartest, fastest, and most cost-effective way you possibly can.
And, why go to all this trouble? Because the payoff is huge. When you nail your operations, productivity just skyrockets, costs plummet, and the quality of what you're making gets better and better. And all of that leads to the ultimate prize: really happy customers. So this isn't just about what happens on a factory floor. It's about winning in business. The very first play in the manager's book is a giant one. Where in the world do you set up shop? And believe me, this decision is so much more than just picking a spot on a map. It is a strategic move that can literally make or break a company for decades to come. And making this choice as a constant balancing act. Do you build your factory close to your raw materials to slash those shipping costs? Or do you set up closer to your customers so you can deliver things faster? There's always a trade-off. You might be weighing the need for really skilled workers against, say, easy access to highways and ports. It's a massive strategic puzzle. All right, so you've picked your location. Now we get into the real guts of the operation: planning and controlling the entire process of actually making the thing. This is where something called PPC, or Production Planning and Control, comes in. You should think of PPC as the central nervous system of the entire factory. It's the brain that decides what gets made, how much of it gets made, and exactly when. It maps out the entire journey for every single product. Now, a good PPC system is never just set it and forget it. It's got to be dynamic, constantly adjusting to new orders or, unexpected hiccups. It's centralized, so everybody is working from the same game plan. And it involves things like routing, which is the path a product takes through all the machines, and scheduling, which is all about the timing. And what's the goal? You guessed it, hitting that sweet spot of maximum efficiency. And of course, not everything is made the same way. On one end of the spectrum, you've got job production. Picture a master craftsman building a one-of-a-kind piece of furniture, just for you. Then there's batch production, kind of like a bakery that makes a big batch of croissants, then switches over to making a batch of cookies. And then you have the big one, mass production. That classic assembly line, just cranking out thousands of identical smartphones one after another. So you've got a location, you've got a plan, but what about all the physical stuff? The raw materials you need to bring in and all the leftovers you create. Let's dive into that. Inventory. It's basically all the stuff a company keeps on hand to make its products. And managing it is this incredibly delicate dance. If you order way too much, you're just burning money on storage. But if you order too little, production could grind to a halt. The whole game is about having exactly what you need right when you need it. Luckily, managers have this whole toolkit of really clever methods to get this right. You've probably heard of one called just-in-time, or JIT. That's where materials show up exactly when they're needed on the production line, which practically eliminates storage costs. It's brilliant. Another one is ABC analysis, which is just a smart way to prioritize. You track your super valuable A items like a hawk, and you can be a bit more chill about the cheap C items.
So, what about everything that's left over? Well, the smartest companies know that waste isn't just garbage. When you manage it right, you can actually save a ton of money, make your company look great to the public, and even create a whole new revenue stream from something called salvage, which is basically finding value in all your leftover scrap.
Look, it's not enough to just make things. You have to make them well, and you have to keep the entire operation from falling apart. This brings us to the relentless, never-ending pursuit of perfection. You've probably heard these acronyms thrown around. TQM, Total Quality Management, isn't just a checklist.
It's an entire company culture that's obsessed with getting a little bit better every single day, all to keep customers happy. Then you have ISO. Think of ISO as an external stamp of approval. It's a set of global standards that basically proves your processes are high quality, safe, and efficient.
And what about keeping the machines themselves running? Well, you've really got two philosophies. The old school way is reactive. You just wait for a machine to break, which causes total chaos, and then you scramble to fix it. The much smarter, modern approach is proactive. You use regularly scheduled checkups or even use data to predict when a part might fail so you can fix things before they break. It saves so much time and money. Okay, so we've looked at the location, the plan, the materials, the quality control, the whole shebang. But who is the one person that brings all of these pieces together and makes it all work? Because that's honestly the best way to think about it. It's this incredibly complex orchestra of people, machines, and processes. And just like any orchestra, it needs a conductor standing at the front, making sure everyone is playing in perfect harmony. And that conductor is the production manager. They're the ones juggling every single thing we've talked about today. They plan the schedules, they manage the people, they control the quality, they oversee the maintenance, and they're responsible for making sure the workplace is safe. They're the ones who actually execute the entire playbook. So here's a final thought for you. From the decision about where to build the factory, all the way down to the maintenance schedule for one single machine, there is an entire invisible world of strategy and planning behind every single object that you own. So the next time you pick up your phone or sit down in your chair, maybe, just maybe, you'll see that hidden playbook too.